Assalamu alaikum. We continue now with the verb to do or do. الآن نكمل مع الفعل أعمل أو أفعل. Now we have this sentence here. This is the first time I introduce the ing. When you have the present tense of a verb, to indicate it's a continuous action, you add this ing. So if someone asks you what are you doing, you say I'm doing this. If you do something like every day, you say I do this every day. But at the present, if you're doing it, you can say I'm doing. You add ing to the do. So the way you ask this question, you say what. If someone is asking you and you want to confirm the question, you say what am I doing? What am I doing? So you say what are we doing? What is he doing? What are you doing? And so on. This am here we covered before. It's from the verb to be. It's used with the first person, singular, feminine and masculine. Are, as we said before, I did not include all the pronouns, but you can, in the previous videos, we covered this, the relation between the different forms of the verb to be with the different pronouns. So this here is just an example. We and you, we use the are with those. Is used with the he, she, and it. We already covered that. But notice now, if you're asking someone is doing something in front of you, you add this ing to indicate that the action is it's a continuous nature of the action. It's being done right now. So you say, what are we doing? What is he doing? What are you doing? Of course, for plural or singular second person. So again, what am I doing? What are we doing? What is he doing? What are you doing? هذا الجملة زدت. هذه أول مرة أستعمل ing، تسمى ing، وهذه عادة تزاد على الفعل الأساسي. الفعل الأساسي في الأفعال، أول فعل تقول do، eat، يأكل. إذا كان فعل غير نظامي، الماضي منه إلى هناك ماضيين، ماضي كامل مكتمل أو ماضي المعروف. فالING هنا دائما تضاف على أول فعل. فإذا الفعل do، did، done. do الحاضر، did يعني في الماضي، done الفعل الماضي مكتمل. هذا بالنسبة للفعل do، فعل غير نظامي. إذا أردت الإشارة إلى أن الفعل مستمر، فإذا سألك أحدهم ماذا تفعل، تقول أنا أعمل واجبي، أو تقول أنا أصلح سيارة. كل فعل تستعمله تضيف إليه ing. والفعل الذي تستعمله، الشكل من الفعل، هو الفعل الأول من الأفعال. كل فعل هناك do، did، done، eat، ate، eaten. إذا رجعت الأفعال في الإنجليزيه خصوصا غير النظامية، سترى هذا الترتيب. فتضيف هذه ing عندما تريد الإفادة أن العمل مستمر. فهنا هذا هو نفس السؤال. إذا أردت أن تتأكد أنك فهمت السؤال، تقول what am I doing. غطينا هنا هذه الام والار والإز، وقلنا أنها طرق مختلفة لكتابة الفعل to be أو الكينونة أو يوجد، مع كل ضمير تختلف من ضمير إلى آخر. هنا إذا أردت تتأكد أن سؤالك أنك فهمت السؤال، تقول what am I doing. هذا تفهم أنه يسألك عما تفعل الآن في هذه اللحظة، أنت مشغول بعمل شيء، فتزيد هذه ing على الفعل. مع هذه الضمائر طبعا غطيناها في الفيديوهات السابقة. لم أستعمل كل الضمائر هنا، فقط كمثال على كل شكل مختلف للفعل to be، الآر والآم والإز، مع ضمير الذي يناسبها. فإذا كان المتكلمين، ضمير المتكلمين we، تقول what are we doing. What is he doing. What are you doing. Here what am I doing. لاحظ هنا عندما تجيب على هذا السؤال تعيد ترتيب هذه، فتقول I am doing، وتقول ماذا تفعل، أو تقول إذا كنت تفعل شيء لم يسأل بالدو، تستطيع أن تستعمل الفعل الآخر، لا تحتاج أن تقول do، فتقول إذا كنت تأكل تقول I am eating. إذا كنت تقود السيارة تقول I am driving، وهكذا. فلا، هذا doing فقط لشكل يغطي أفعال كثيرة، وتستطيع استعمال الفعل الذي أنت تقوم بعمله فتزيد عليه ال ing. Now this what am I doing here, notice these colors. I introduce now here a different verb to do. You have another verb in Arabic, this is فعل, which is the same name for a verb. Verb in Arabic is called فعل, and it's also in itself is a verb that indicates doing something, and it's more general than do. أعمل, the one we covered, indicates doing something, like building something, fixing something. الفعل is more general. It could be something like cover more areas. So that's why it's even called the verb is called a فعل. It's action. You can think of it as the word action in English. So action is more general. You can call anything as an act if it's a verb, or if it indicates movement or an action within time. So these here, this also the first time I introduced these pointed out or indicated, highlighted. Instead of including all the different variations of the verb with different pronouns, these here are called the present tense letters, and they're joined in what you would call mnemonic. In order to remember it, it's anaitu. They say anaitu. This word here, A-N-E-T, anaitu. In order to remember it, they use it as one word. And whenever you change a verb from the past tense to the present tense, it will take one of these letters on the front of it. And each one of them will indicate a different person, and you add the attachment at the end depending how you change it. So these are called the present tense letters. I'm using them here separately because you can do this, just use these present tense letters, and it will be understood as just like you use the pronouns here. In Arabic you have extra pronouns at the end to indicate something else. An object or a subject, and it changes accordingly. So if you say in the present tense, you just for the first person you add this called hamza, af'al. This means the person who is talking, singular, feminine and masculine. You say af'al. which is closer to do, as I said, in a general sense. It doesn't indicate what exactly you are doing. You're just saying I do, then you say what you know. I do my homework, I do painting, or I do something. If you use the verb that you are doing, let's say you are fixing something, you say I am fixing. You say أصلح. This become u. It changes with how the verb is, the original letters of the verb. So this is added to indicate the present tense for the first person. The first person plural, notice this an. First person plural is نحن, so this an is used to indicate the present tense. So you say نفعل. Now, if you say نصلح, نأكل, نصلح means fixing, we fix. نأكل, we are eating. نعمل, we are working. So this an will go with any verb to indicate the present tense for the first person plural. This ya here is for the third person, and as I said, whether it's a plural, masculine, feminine, you get these additions there at the end of the verb. So if you're saying someone, he is fixing his car, you say يصلح. يصلح, أصلح is fixed in the past tense. يصلح is he is fixing. تصلح for the feminine, she is fixing. يصلحون, notice the u at the end will indicate the plural masculine. يصلحن, that n by itself will indicate the plural third person feminine, and so on. I think I covered these pronouns before, but as I said, if you now just focus on these, how these change, then with more examples you'll start to see how these go. Again, in the everyday language, a lot of these, like if I say يفعلون, that n usually is dropped, because sometimes even in the classical it's dropped, but people in everyday language, they drop it all the time. تفعلين is the second person singular feminine, and in some cases you drop that n, but in the classical language. But in the everyday language, it's dropped all the time. So that's why I'm trying to limit the amount of grammar. This way I only mention it so you would know it's there. So when you read it, you're familiar with it. So تفعل also goes with the second person plural masculine. You add attachments at the end. So تفعلون, second person plural masculine. تفعلن, second person plural feminine. تفعل, second person singular masculine. تفعلي or تفعلين, second person feminine singular. As I said, in some cases, if you say لم تفعل, you can't say لم تفعلين, you say لم تفعلي. You drop that n, and so on. So if just focus now on these, I notice I indicated the continuous ing here with the same color, because these letters, when they're added to the beginning of the verb, it turns it into the present tense. Also, one more note, some past tense verbs will have these letters. That's why they don't use these letters as a distinguishing mark to present tense verbs, because they share it with past tense. But it's a good way to recognize the present tense. So like I said here, أفعل, I am doing, but أصلح, he fixed. You notice this hamza, same hamza, but same hamza, but indicating the past tense, أصلح. If you want to make أصلح in the present tense, you say أصلح. You say you just change the short vowel on top of it. That's why, for those of you who are studying grammar, they will not learn that these are a distinguishing mark of present tense verbs, but they will learn it's the present tense letters. So just be aware of that. So again, these letters, when they're attached, they take this form. This is when the letters are written in by itself. That's how it looks. Notice how the shape changes when it's connected to the word or to the verb. So ماذا أفعل? What am I doing? ماذا أفعل? What am I doing? ماذا أفعل? What am I doing? ماذا نفعل? What are we doing? ماذا نفعل? What are we doing? ماذا نفعل? What are we doing? ماذا يفعل? What is he doing? ماذا يفعل? What is he doing? ماذا يفعل? What is he doing? ماذا تفعل? What are you doing? For this one here, if you say ماذا تفعل, would indicate the third person singular feminine. So you could easily mix it with the second person singular masculine. So if you say ask a boy what he's doing, you say ماذا تفعل. If you ask about a girl absent, she's absent, and you're asking what she is doing, you say ماذا تفعل في البيت. What is she doing in the house? So just be aware of that. As I said, the second person singular feminine, you would add en here, so it become تفعلين, and sometimes this n is dropped. So ماذا تفعل? What are you doing for the second person singular? What are you doing? What are you doing? The other verbs or the different pronouns that I used and I'm not mentioning here, if you refer to the previous verbs, they will take most of the time will take the same way. You just add the letters and those pronouns, and you will get the change that you want. For now, I think I will just use another verb here to just show how the change happens. I will not do too much explaining here, so I'll just read these sentences. Except for this here, this is the new addition here. This the here in English, notice it's indicated by the L here. L. When you say السيارة, السيارة become defined, which is a car. Here is the car, سيارة. If you say سيارة, just like saying car without being definite, it becomes indefinite. So this is the definite article here. The. L, the. L, the. Here are these the present tense letters, and this here is the word fix, to fix something. Notice I use these letters with the ing and with the verb. So this here covers both these. In the English language, you use I and ing. So if you say I am fixing the car, I am fixing the car. أصلح السيارة. Notice here I said أصلح السيارة. If you say it will become in the past tense. So to be in the present tense, you أصلح السيارة. I am fixing the car. I am fixing the car. أصلح السيارة. This L here, you don't pronounce the L when you say it in this case. So you say السيارة. And sometimes you say it, say الكتاب. So just be aware of that. Sometimes it's pronounced, sometimes it's not. So I am fixing the car. أصلح السيارة. I am fixing the car. أصلح السيارة. نصلح السيارة. We are fixing the car. نصلح السيارة. We are fixing the car. يصلح السيارة. He is fixing the car. He is fixing the car. يصلح السيارة. He is fixing the car. يصلح السيارة. تصلح السيارة. You are fixing the car. تصلح السيارة. You are fixing the car. Here again I will remind you of this word here goes for both. You can say she is fixing the car. You add the هي. هي is the pronoun for she. So هي تصلح السيارة. Or the proper way, or the way it's usually said, تصلح, you mention the name. So تصلح هي السيارة is the pronoun. You say تصلح هي السيارة. When you say هي, this removes the confusion or the mix. But when you're talking to someone, you say تصلح السيارة, he will understand it's directed at him. For the second person, singular masculine. You are fixing the car. تصلح السيارة. You are fixing the car. تصلح السيارة. Again, you can go through the other pronouns here in English. Just replace these. So they, she, it. In here you can add نصلح. These are stay the same. Here يصلحون for the third person plural masculine. يصلحن for the third person plural feminine. تصلحن for the second person plural feminine. تصلحون for the second person plural masculine. تصلحين, as I said, you can say تصلحي, and for now, so you don't have to worry about that in. So but the way it is said, if there is no other cause for the n to drop, you say تصلحين. This is a second person singular feminine. تصلح first second person singular masculine. So I am fixing the car. أصلح السيارة. We are fixing the car. نصلح السيارة. He is fixing the car. يصلح السيارة. You are fixing the car. تصلح السيارة. Thank you for listening. Inshallah, we'll finish we start with another verb in the next video inshallah. شكرا على الاستماع. إن شاء الله في الفيديو القادم نبدأ مع فعل جديد. السلام عليكم.